friends. I am late to the party. Let me look at these messages. Good evening. I am tardy to the party. I had an emergency that literally happened at like 6:50, which is why I'm late. Because yesterday it was so live in here, but today is going to kind of go a little bit faster than yesterday, but I'm gonna let people get in because I am late. I am late to the live. And I know people are like, why are you going live on a Friday? Ain't it happy hour somewhere? I wish I was at a happy hour, but I have a torn ACL and a meniscus, so I can't be nowhere. But in the house, recapping as much as I can for y'all on the legal side so that y'all can get what y'all need to get. Give y'all this little recap. If y'all are going to have y'all a little drink afterwards to decompress from this information, because it was a lot today. It was a lot. And if you are just joining, I am Attorney Anderson with the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. And I am doing a collaboration nightly recap of the Diddy trial. And that's what I'm here to do today. So I am going to break down the testimony for today. It was really heavy. Jane Doe, bless her heart, bless her whole sense of everything. And I would tell you, the fact that he's still paying her rent, it tells me everything I need to know about the power and control wheel. And some of the things that they told us that was going on with Diddy in the courtroom, it appeared to be very upset, very agitated. And basically, because things wasn't going his way, you have your main witness telling the truth about some of the things that you were doing. Y'all, when I tell you, if you thought Cassie was bad, because of course she endured it for like 10 years, if you thought Cassie's was bad, Jane Doe's was amplified. It's like he took what he couldn't do with Cassie or finish with Cassie, and he dumped it off on Jane Doe. I was thoroughly traumatized by everything that she went through. And I know yesterday the sentiment I had was, hoes be winning to a certain extent. No, today, y'all, listen, let me just start with, so during this time between 2021 up until Diddy was arrested, Diddy had a roster of women. I don't know if y'all remember the roster, but I remember the roster. Of course, we know Young Miami. Young Miami was a part of pretty much some of the testimony today, because Jane Doe was talking about, how she was jealous that he would be spending all his quality time with another female, taking them out of town, like splurging for them on their birthday, and he would have her doing freak-offs on her birthday. So we know Young Miami was one. We know Joy, Bow Wow's baby mama, was another. I think she was 2020. Was she 2021? I think she was 2021. Was she 2021? I think Joy was 2021. Then Miami was 2021, like later 2021, up until 2024. You then had Jade. Jade was mentioned in a lawsuit with Rodney. He mentions Jade, Young Miami, and Jane Doe as sex workers for Diddy. Now, there are pictures of all of these individuals with Diddy during that time frame, but what Jane Doe testified to, he would parade them around, but treat her like a sex slave, basically. Like she couldn't be seen out with him. Every time they were together, it always had to revolve around a Freakoff. So she trying to figure out, why am I'm less than? You got all these other women that you are grabbing, like showing off, doing all these grand things, but you only want to do a freak off with me. Good evening, good evening. Welcome everyone as everyone migrates in because I was late to the party. I had an emergency that I had to assist. So that's the reason why I am not here at 7, but 7:30. Thank you, Callie. So today, y'all, all that came out. But most importantly, when we have been breaking this down and people have still been asking, like, what, I don't know if there's a RICO. What about the sex trafficking? What about the transportation? Listen, Jane Doe, literally, if we thought the case was sealed, the case is closed. The case is closed. If the jury got it after Jane Doe, it's definitely giving life. It's definitely giving life with no parole. I'm curious, why isn't anyone linking the possibility that Sony assisted in creating this monster? So that's a good question. Christian, that is a good question, because I have talked about how what the feds do, they come to individuals like Diddy ahead of time with his attorney and say, hey, here's my list. I'm going to use this for an example. Here's my list. I got a whole list of names that I want you to roll on. I need information on these people. And these people be the ones that they want. And they are willing to give you a deal. They're probably not going to set you free, but they'll give you a good ass deal. So we would never know the names that they were looking for in order to take them down over him. That's how I see it. And that's how I predict that happened. He wasn't willing to roll on anyone because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for him, for people that are associated with him. But y'all, when I tell y'all today, baby, Jane Doe was rolling on Jane Doe was out here literally piling up on every single element that needs to be proved. From drug trafficking to sex trafficking to prostitution. What else of it? Coercion. This man took a different approach with her. So, y'all remember when Cassie could not have a voice and say and speak up for herself? Jane Doe, she had her moments where she was standing on business. So let's get into, let me bring it on to the stage so we can get right into it, y'all. Because we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a time. So when the AUSA got back on the stand today, Because yesterday I testified. What am I talking about? Yesterday when I went over the testimony, I was like, dang, the state gonna have to come harder than what they are. And I'm like, it's giving very much state tomorrow. I'm expecting y'all to do the whole shebang. The whole shebang. And while we are gathered here today, make sure you are liking as we are engaging in this content. So hold on, let me close some of these screens out so I can get it smaller. So the AUSA started off, and I'm going to venture off between certain parts that I summarized and I did in question answer. Did Sean call you a freak? Yes, he wanted me to be wild and sexy. Y'all remember that song on the Love album? Hold on, let me bring this up. Do y'all remember the song on the Love album that I think it's called Off the Grid? Hold on, let me verify because he has a song on the Love album that was it titled Off the Grid? What is the one with the one with Jeremiah? So there's an interlude and they're talking about being off the grid. Jeremiah and I think what's his name? Fabulous is on it. And he has this fixation on being off the grid. And off the grid means that you are highly intoxicated with the sexual desires that you are trying to obtain at that moment. I picked that up when that song came. I was like, this is a sexual manifesto of an explosion kind of song. And I ain't gonna hold you. It's a beautiful ballad. I ain't gonna hold you. But I did not know it was that toxic. So she said that he wanted her to be wild and sexy and free. And he said he wanted her to be off the grid. He would tell her, let's go off the grid. And the grid is sound like to me close to death. I don't know. It sounds like close to death. So the prosecutor then asked, did you ask Sean if entertainers could wear condoms? She did. And he said no. He said he did not want to see no latex. He said these men are clean. Was his tone condescending? They said yes. She said yes. Did he say why he did not want the entertainer to wear condoms? He did not want to see a rubber. Did he say, did you raise it ever when sober or not in a hotel room? She said yes. She raised it on more than one occasions of making these people wear condoms. Was there ever a recording? She says yes. One that I'm aware of. I'm trying to ask the entertainer if he can wear a condom, and he was looking for it. So on this occasion, one of the entertainers was like, yeah, I'm cool with wearing a condom. And yeah. Diddy walks in. Y'all know what this man told her? He said, no, you taking the dick. You taking dick. Ain't no condoms. You taking the dick. And I believe this is one that was a recorded Freakoff that the jury was able to watch, but the panel was able to hear the audio. This man said that and it was admitted into evidence. They even went down to the minutes. Let's start at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So after he said, you taking a dick, she said, and when he said it, if you don't touch yourself right now, what was he saying? To just move. Why did you think you needed permission from Sean for the man having sex with your body to wear a condom because he would get agitated. How would intercourse with the entertainer end? With him finishing in me? Did he let these men ejaculate inside of his women? It's her. We know Cassie talked about it too. Then what would you and Sean do? Have sex. So you let a man get one off on your girl, and then you go in and backdoor? You go in and backdoor. Okay. You go in, you don't want him to wear a condom, then you go in and backdoor. After this man has did what he did, finished off in your girl. Okay. Would you clean up the ejaculation? No. Why not? Diddy like to play around with it. Can we all agree that Diddy needs to come out the closet? Can we agree that there is something being held to where this man likes to play in another man's semen? He likes to play in other men's semen. Of course, he had her on every kind of drug. He had on every kind of drug, y'all. And he got to a point when she said she couldn't even do a freak off without the drugs because she did not want to live in the reality. How many rounds? I would take a shower and get ready for the next round. And when we're talking about next round, we're not talking about with the same man. She would have to get ready for the next round with another man. Three. It could be up to 3 men in one freak off. Yeah, he should have just opened up Bad Boy Porno. Absolutely. So she started going into the different names of the men, y'all. And when I tell y'all, he had new bodyguards, y'all. This is the first time I didn't hear D-Rock, I didn't hear Paulie, I didn't hear what's the other one name? Roger Bonds. He got new security. And one of the securities is known as Mr. Fix-It. Mr. Fix-It. This guy name was Fa. I think he was they haven't gotten to the abuse. They haven't gotten to any physical abuse. See what the government likes to do, y'all. They like to leave us on a cliffhanger. So before they get to anything that could elevate to a physical aspect, they say, oh, I think it's time for a break. I was like, it ain't time for no damn break. Who told you that? So they always leave us on a freaking cliffhanger because they know what they're doing. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all all the names of these men, y'all. It's so many different men, like so many. And I'm talking about she was pushing P from 2021 up until he got arrested. So she started going into how Diddy would have her go on and find men for the freak-offs. So you know where she would go? I don't know. I don't know if that's the same person. That's a good question. He would have her, she would go to Instagram. You remember how Cassie went to the back page and Craigslist? Jane Doe went to Instagram. And it was this one that she reached out to named Sly. His name is Sly Williams. They call him Sly the Chef because he cooking up in the kitchen and in the bedroom. Apparently, he is a porno star, a adult film star. So she messaged him on Instagram and was like, hey, me and my partner, we want to get down with you. He's in Atlanta. They fly him to, let me see where the first encounter was. I think his first encounter was Miami. Yes, Fahim Muhammad. You are correct. That is the fixer. And that is also somebody who probably is an unindicted co-conspirator who gonna have to testify. Definitely unindicted. Because, baby, the way that they said he was interfering with the apprehension of Diddy. Now, the feds don't like when you are trying to interfere with their ability to gain access to you. So, y'all, I'm going to go down the list of men. You had Sly, the chef from Atlanta. He flew out multiple times, was paid for travel, hotel, and sex. He flew out over. He would come to New York, Miami, LA. He was their main one, just like with Cassie. Jules was their main one. Sly was their main one. That was the main slanger. You have Anton. She found him on Instagram. He was local in LA. He would come over for encounters with them in LA. He would come to her apartment. Diddy will always pay them in cash. Always. Her one requirement was that they could not do drugs because she said she did not know how they would act. And she wanted less damage as possible. Whatever that means. You had Don. Don would participate in freak-offs post Miami raid. And we're going to get into that. Paul was a personal trainer of Diddy. He would come to Miami. He would fly to LA, Turks. They used him for freak-offs, including there was one occasion when she got blindfolded. You have Leo, and y'all know personal trainers. I'm pretty sure he probably kept this personal trainer a little close because he didn't want another personal trainer taking his woman. Leo was referred to the Italian. Diddy introduced him at her birthday. He made her do a freak off on her birthday. He tricked her into making her believe they were going to be together, only them, to celebrate her birthday. He took her out for dinner and he said, "We about to get the party started right." On her birthday. You have Michael. He appeared between like 2021 or 2023. He was mentioned only twice, not really much detail. Sean was mentioned as someone like something new, partially referring to him as a male entertainer. Joey was a Spanish muscular built. He was he it wasn't nothing really special other than his build. Like all of them would get paid by Diddy in cash, and when he would run out of cash, guess who he would call? KK, his other assistant, his security. That would bring him more money when he ran out. He was paying the people. He was making her do freak offs every week or bi-weekly from May 2021 up until October 2023. Bye, Christian. Yes, please pray. Pray for Jane Doe. Yes, this is a good statement. If someone is manipulated, threatened, or pressured into doing something, especially through fear of harm, that's coercion. And it makes any supposed consent invalid under the law. That's why I'm a little concerned about some of these people, y'all, because it's giving that that's something that you do in your downtime if you don't understand what coercion is and what no means. So back to the list. There was it was an unidentified European man. There is also, y'all, it was this one sweaty, stanky guy. And she went to Diddy and said, "Oh no." But Diddy didn't make her have sex with him. Diddy had sex with her. And this sweaty guy that smelled was standing over her as they were having sex. And she was like, "Sober or not? No." So that's just the list of what I compiled. Not all of the people, y'all. That's just the list of what I compiled. It was more. It was so many that I lost count. And to know that he will make her do 3 men in a single freak off, 18 to 20 hours. When she would cry, she cried on 2 occasions. That man said, "What you crying for?" Ignored her. That $10,000 was not worth it. That $10,000 wasn't worth it because he didn't even put furniture in her place. She had to figure out how to get furniture in her place. She maxed out 3 cards. Girl, why are you maxing out cards? You better go down to IKEA. You better go on Amazon, a thrift store. See, this when you try to keep up with the Joneses. Yes, Chase. Yes. Ivy, girl, listen, you are always on point. This case has made it painfully obvious way too many men don't understand consent. Not saying no doesn't equal consent. How many times have I had to talk about a person, man or woman, cannot legally consent to sexual encounters if they are heavily intoxicated, whether it's a controlled substance or alcohol. If a woman or a man says no during intercourse and you continue, you are a rapey. A rapey. You going to jail if they tell. Now, will it stand up in trial? I don't know, because it's literally he say, she say. But if your person that you are engaging in sexual intercourse says no during the interaction or the sexual intercourse, you must retreat under all circumstances. And if you don't, and if you are in this chat and you've had those encounters, go talk to God. Go talk to God right now. Man or woman. When they say no, get the F up right away. Do not stay and thinking that it's sweet. Get up. Yes, chase Christ, not money. I am Dr. Shadows. Yes. And that's where a lot of these social media influencers are, these OnlyFans, or people that are infatuated about somebody else's life when you don't know the hell they go through. Because people are probably fantasizing about Jane Doe, but didn't understand what Jane Doe was going through behind closed doors. That's why I never want somebody else's life. Never. Not financially smart at all. Listen, I said this over and over again. I am going, babe, I would have moved to Texas. If you want me to have these freak offs and all this, I am moving to Texas. I'm going to get me a nice, good apartment for about $3,500 on the type of luxury that you want, sis. Go to IKEA, go to Amazon, Wayfair, you name it. And baby, I'm pocketing that, because you are not even getting a return for the investment that you are putting into allowing a man to use you as a sex slave. You not even breaking even. From France. Oh my God. Hi, Stella. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in all the way from France. Yes, I love when the international viewers come in. I love it. Oh yeah, and some refuse to believe it. So let's get back into it, because y'all, it got so let's talk about the drug use. Do y'all know she was transporting drugs? Do y'all want to know who gave her the drugs to transport? Take a wild guess. One of our favorite people. KK. KK is back in the mother building. KK is back on the record. So on this first occasion, she had to transport a bag of drugs from LA to Miami. KK comes out and gives her this brown bag and tell her she got to take it. She looks at KK and says, "Is this safe?" And KK said, oh, yeah, I do it all the time. I've been doing it all the time. I said, and y'all know they see his KK phone at the airport and her assets. They did that on purpose. Hey, Tanya, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. KK on that occasion, when she met Diddy in Miami, she gave him the bag. He opened it. It was full of colorful pills, and they took them. On the second time, she transported it back from Miami to LA. And while they were in transport, her and Diddy took a pill together. Does that look like drug trafficking to you? I told y'all that the government was going to keep turning it up a notch, like going to keep cranking it, cranking it, cranking it. They went over the recruitment and payment for sex entertainers. I don't know why I got Sly the female chef. I think they just thought that was female. So Sly, she had sex with him on the first, like when he first came down. Diddy watched. Diddy paid. Jane booked his travel through Expedia, so y'all know who they got the records from. Expedia. They got them records from Expedia. See, that's why this man is so stupid. So stupid. But Sly, like I said, was the favorite one. Then you go to the sexual encounters that we did a timeline from 2021 to 2023. May 2021 to October 2023. Then 5 more before he got arrested. Do y'all know this man had a freak off in February? Was it in May? I know February, May, July. I think we're going to hear some more Monday. He was still having freak offs up until he got arrested. How you have a freak off after the March raid? You still having freak offs after your house got raided? In the house that got raided, he then changed from flying all over the place and stayed in Miami. The same place they got raided. Y'all remember the druggie boy? Yeah. She confirmed him today too. And then we talked about his deal that he got. Because you remember he got apprehended with drugs on him? He gonna testify. I know it. He gonna testify. Brandon is going to testify. Yeah. He's got to testify. It ain't no way because Jane Doe didn't whipped him all up in that doggone testimony today. All up in it. And the assistants, the new security. But one that is always consistent is KK. So Diddy was the director of the Freakoffs. He directed it. He had the lingerie, the heels. Y'all know them heels that they found in Miami? That's the kind of heels he liked for her to wear. Them was her heels. Or supposedly Young Miami or Jade's, because they were identified as being sex workers, but I cannot confirm that, so it's allegedly. But he had too many of them heels, and she said that's the kind of heels he liked her to wear. There were many times where she protested and he would get agitated. There were times where they had to call a different man in because she just could not stomach it. There were times where she was throwing up and she was sick, and he would tell her, get ready for the next round. PH ain't even a thing anymore. Not a thing at all. He was making her do 3 men in 20 hours or under 20 hours. Oh, let me tell you, y'all remember when KK came out talking about this is assassination of character, defamation. I am going to sue. Girl, you can't sue even a fly. You can't even sue a cell membrane out of your brain. You can't even sue your pinky toe. You can't even sue if you had a claim. I'm sorry, princess. It's bad. She once sent him a picture of a napkin that had like pinkish stains on it. They said, well, what that had been. She said, I was letting him know that I was coming on my cycle and I just could not do it. Y'all, Diddy literally fucked this woman up. Oh, they gonna show even more. They got to. Just for facts, they gotta show it. Because she is one that gives them elements that they need. They got to. And they got to show his behavior, his mannerisms, like how he's talking to her, how he's telling her, no, take the dick. Would not let him wear a condom. Then would go and have sex with her after they came. Then he played in another man's semen. We ain't calling him Freako no more. He is sicko. Sicko. Manipulation. Did he pay her rent? That's why he created that love contract to manipulate her. She said she chose some entertainers because she felt safe with them. Diddy staff was arranging these freakouts, like they was doing the setup, like the same setup that he had with Cassie. Cash was kept in the drawers and distributed. I think Sly on his first encounter was paid between $2,000 to $4,000. You paying these dudes more than you giving her for a month? That's how he kept her in control. The dude is sicko. Stupid. There is nothing that is going to stop your cycle that is of alcohol related. No, Sly was her favorite. Sly. She loved her some Sly. I got to figure out who Sly is. Sly Williams. I got to figure out who Sly Williams is. As far as the sex trafficking and the Mann Act, because she were arranged and participated in interstate sex travel from LA to Miami to Atlanta to NYC, boom. She was forced to take drugs before sexual acts. Boom. Hotel was set up in advance by assistance of the enterprise. Boom. Payments were typically paid in cash after the service was performed. Boom. I don't think it's any more to have to prove, y'all. I think that's very much it. Rico. She single-handedly dismantled sex trafficking and transportation, drug trafficking, coercion, forced labor to an extent. I'm grasping for straws with that one. It's not forced labor. But she said it felt like a job. It felt like a job. Yes, make sure y'all are liking prostitution on steroids. On steroids. She started having conversations with him because she would see that he was going viral with Young Miami. For some reason, you could see he treated Young Miami like he would treat Kim. I just feel that way. The doctor writing scripts, I can tell you they already got that. That's probably just in their back pocket. Yeah, that doctor in trouble. In trouble. She confronted him about Miami. Was like, yeah, I'm seeing that you're going viral. Like, you don't spend time with me like that. You don't do things like that with me. You don't invest in me. You just want me for these freak-offs. He said, I don't talk about what I do with you to her. What? What? I'm not talking about. So, true. Carisha and Kim are not the same. How? Because last I checked, she was with Al B, who was friends and under the same label as Diddy. Diddy came and took her. She let this man hijack her son from his daddy. And word on the curb is she had some comminglings with Tupac. I stated he treated her in public with the same respect that he would treat Kim. That man put her in position to win, wasn't out here discrediting their existence, gave her bag after bag, spoke highly of her every chance that he could get, same way he did with Kim. And the only reason why I'm comparing her and Kim is because they have the same skin tone, African American women. So we got almost 200 in the chat. Let's get these likes up. We need to be at least 100 likes, y'all. 100 for your girl. Didn't Carisha do an interview where she says she does same things as Cassie? I don't know. I don't know. That is interesting when you consider he supposedly preferred black men for. So, y'all, we're not even done. The fact that, do y'all know how much evidence and testimony you have to have for a witness for them to be on the stand a full day and a half, and you got another full day? Oh, she got text messages of saying she did not want to do it. She was done. She was tired of it. He convinced her on one occasion, okay, let's go to the upper room. We're gonna do it this one last time, then I'm gonna be clean off drugs for 30 days. He made her do another 3-piece. The reason they took a break from October 2023 to February 2024, she ain't want to do no more freak-offs. She cried the whole time she was testifying. She cried because it's been less than a year that she really became free of Diddy. Less than a year. So she is still under the episode of Diddy. She's still under episode because this man, when we want to talk about witness tampering, he's still paying for her rent. You know why? He's still trying to control her. Still trying to control her. So when people talk about a motive, when people talk about, oh, she just doing this because, no, she's doing that because she does not have to lie about her encounter. If somebody is still paying your rent $10,000 and you come and testify against them, what motive do they have? It's not the fact that she has to testify. I am speaking on when people try to discredit the individual who's testifying and try to create it as a sense of they're doing it for out of vendetta. They're doing it because he cut off a bag. Travis, don't come in here with them conspiracy theories. Don't do that. He played in her face. There's no other way to talk about it. He played her so hard. And that's the thing. These men that's why I tell people be careful when you are dating men that are wealthy, because they have a different type of sexual appetite. They have a different type. They have a different type of appetite. That is so people want to experience someone that has that level of influence until they get it and see what type of person it is. Who is Mustafa? So make no mistake, stay away from these freaked out men. When you get any indication, run. Do not stay, because it's only going to get worse. Ain't nothing about what Diddy is doing or did was normal. It's called being a serial rapist. Serial rapist. He is a predator. He is a dangerous man. He got upset today in court, y'all. He was irritated. He was frustrated. He was irritated. He was frustrated. I don't think he anticipated that she was going to flip. That's why he kept paying her rent, because he knew she was the most dangerous one outside of Cassie. There is no legal definition. He's a swinger. No, he is not a swinger. He is a rapist. He is a predator. Like when a woman says no and you force a woman to have sex, you are a rapist. Yes, most super rich. Listen, stay away. Listen, I'm telling y'all. I'm only telling y'all because one tried and failed, I caught that shit so fast. Get away from me, sir. Get away. Get away. See, this is the comment that me and Ivy was talking about. This is the comment right here. When people don't know the definition of what a rapist is and what rape and consensual encounters are, let me educate Brown Beauty again. Male or female, you cannot legally consent to sexual activity if you are highly intoxicated, whether by a controlled substance or alcohol. This woman, just like every other woman, has testified to being heavily drugged. And in the state of California, that is rape. Go look up the penal code. I gave it on one of the recordings last week. That is considered rape. So let me educate you, Brown Beauty. If you ever get in a situation where you are engaging with a man and you are highly intoxicated, what you are saying is if that man has sex with you and you wake up the next morning and say, I don't remember giving him consent, then he not a rapist, so you didn't get raped. That's what you're saying. It's be so many people in the comments that be victim shaming. And that's disgusting. That is just so disgusting. Like, and it be the women too. And I be like, what happened in your life to where you make these flamboyant statements as if a certain woman that has a certain encounter cannot become a victim? It's like, yes, until you are in that situation, y'all make these ignorant victim blaming statements. Like, do better. Let me see. Travis, I'm putting you in timeout. So for the last time, because even the ones that like some victim blame, if you ever get in that situation, you're going to recall this moment. You're going to recall it. Hold on. What did Miss Tanya say? I agree, Tanya. There are so many women that have to deal with the reality of being SA'd is sometimes justice never happens for them, but sometimes justice is their healing. Sometimes justice is them speaking the words that they were a victim. Sometimes justice is them saying something. They deserve the same grace as anyone, as a woman or a man that went and reported it. We don't do profanity in the comments. Let's see. Most people look at stuff in black and white. They cannot see her as a victim. Hey. I don't listen. I'm not the one to argue about SA with. I'm not. Because I am a two-time survivor of SA. I'm not the one to play in comments about SA. I'm not the one to make light of SA. I'm not the one to judge another woman about SA. I'm not the one that's going to say, oh, I don't believe you. Oh, you put yourself in this situation. Nobody puts themselves in a situation to be raped. It doesn't matter about a money, about a payment. Nobody puts themselves in a situation to be raped. A predator puts you in a situation to be raped. Thank you, Brian, for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not you, Sassy Cass. I'm talking about this other guy. So when I say no cussing in the comments, it means like if it is to incite negativity, that's the difference. Grooming is a form of brainwashing. That's why we shouldn't question victims. He love bombed her for sure. No, I ain't talking about you either, True. The person I'm talking about, I put in time out. Thank you, DeMarcus. Who y'all, but listen. Today was heavy. Today was heavy. I think we're all going to need to have a mental download and put it on a USB and let it be on a USB so that we can put more positive, healthy things in our brain over the weekend, because this is a lot. I've never seen anything to this magnitude outside, of course, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. So this weekend, I want y'all to take a download it out your brain, put it on a USB, and don't even think about this. And we'll be back on Monday where we're going to continue to break it down, go bar for bar, law for law, incident for incident, situation for situation. But I can tell y'all, Diddy's team is afraid. Diddy's team is panicked. Thank you, True. Thank you, True. See, let me also say this to y'all, because I want this to be a space where we can agree to disagree, but also respect each other at the end of the day. Public opinions can be brutal, but when you agree to disagree with how somebody views something and you state your position, they state theirs, and you still have respect for each other at the end of the day, that's growth. That's maturity. That's being an adult. So I appreciate all the energy in the comments that you state your position and you don't have to waver. You allow others to state your position, and guess what? We live to comment another day. We live to comment another day. And that's the beauty of being adults. That's the beauty of being just human beings. So I appreciate my community that is growing throughout this breakdown of the trial. Like I've said, I do plan on going when it gets closer to like the closing arguments and the jury watch. I'm definitely going to New York. I'm definitely going to be reporting live from New York. Yes, shut up and listen. Sassy Cassie, that's why I named my book Shut Up and Prosecute, because they want you to shut up and prosecute when justice demands fair and impartial individuals. So make sure you are following my YouTube channel at the Public Opinion Court. My personal Instagram page is Lori Bay ESQ. My TikTok is the Public Opinion Court. And I also have a room that I am late to because I was late to y'all on fan base, the Public Opinion Court After Dark. We go in, we break it down, we do all the things. So make sure y'all are following my YouTube channel, the Public Opinion Court, and all my social media, because listen, next week I got a surprise for y'all, but I got to get this thing together so that I can give, back to how good y'all have been to me as I've broken down the Diddy trial for the past, we 3 weeks in, y'all. We are 3 weeks in. We've been together for 3 weeks. Y'all know, when I was a prosecutor, I used to have cases against him at the DA's office. He's a real cool guy. Much respect. Like, he was one of my favorite defense attorneys when I was a prosecutor. We probably can see if we can make that happen. We probably can see it because we know each other. So it's not like we don't know each other. So we'll see, if we can make that happen with us doing something. I'll see if I can kind of finesse that since y'all are asking. But yeah, he's an amazing attorney. Always been the epitome of class, respect, dignity. Yeah, can't say nothing bad about him. So y'all have an amazing night. Until I see y'all on Monday, 7:00, Public Opinion Court. Whether what, truth ain't reality, but opinions are. Have a good weekend.